Okay, in previous videos, I've talked a little bit about some of the benefits to clothing and other fabric and textiles made from natural materials. So, for example, uh, organically farmed cotton or wool, for example. But there are some downsides, specifically to wool. So, what happens is moths are the problem. They get in to the cupboard and they lay eggs on wool specifically. The larvae hatch out of the eggs and they eat the wool, literally. Here is one that was damaged, and I just noticed this recently. Unfortunately, I wasn't careful enough. So that's damage from moths. So first up, let's just talk quickly about prevention, how this could have been prevented better. I was doing some of these things, but obviously not well enough. So you can just use physical protection, like storing the wool garment in a plastic type bag type thing, or some people even use boxes. Basically a sealed container. That's one method. That's just protection. But the downside of that is if there had been an egg laid on it before you put it in there, then you've still got the same problem. Another thing in general is just to keep the door of cupboards shut. Don't leave them open. These cedar discs that go on top of the coat hanger, they also, the cedar aroma or scent gives off that the moths don't like that. So that's a good natural treatment that exists. You do have to sand it, I think, every year to keep letting off fresh the aroma. What else have I got written here? There's mothballs, but they do contain some toxic chemicals, quite well known to be not healthy, and you don't want that on your clothes. So that's I have not used that, and I don't think I ever will. Mothballs are an option. There's also herbal options: rosemary, clove, lavender. You could try the spray, or you could try the actual herb. What I'm looking into is maybe in the future at some point is an essential oil diffuser. I think this would be a perfect use for that. And also, just another thing on the putting it in the plastic container, what you can do is you can wrap up the garment, put it in the freezer for 2 or 3 days. I think 72 hours is what I had recommended, and then for that amount of time it kills the eggs, and then put it in the container, and then you should be safe. So there's that. What else have I got written here? I've written down air filter. I don't think that's going to make a big difference, but it's something I do use. I have the iAdapt. I'll put a link in the description below. I'm sure that does have some positive benefit with regards to wardrobes and materials like this. Now, you can also, for treatments, once you know it's there, you can take it to the dry cleaner or you can get professional chemical treatments done. But again, I think it's not ideal for the wool to be, have that on it. That's an option. Freezing, as I mentioned. So really, it's about prevention, and having windows open, fresh air, huge benefits to health. But if you're not careful and you leave the cupboard open, and it's at night, then these moths can get in there. Obviously, another thing is just to not frequently, but just check every now and then, and actually just on the high risk items, right? And that's everything I have written down. If you have any recommendations that I haven't mentioned for natural methods, I'd love to hear them. Especially if you have a recommendation for a good essential oil diffuser. I assume that's a good strategy. Assuming that's a good strategy. If it's not, let me know. But I think that's a good way a good thing to add into a setup, because you can use an essential oil diffuser for the whole house just to improve the air. So that is all for this video. That was one of the downsides of natural fibers.